So hello you guys, this is Friday, it's about 8 o'clock, and I wanted to do this video, titled it, how did I get in this situation about living in a van? And well, it all started in 2013, and what happened was that I'm gonna just talk about it as briefly as I can, because it's very, very long. I've been actually working on an autobiography about my past. So just a little bit about my past, and then I'll discuss on how I became a van dweller, so to speak. So when I was 24 years old, I was pursuing a heavy metal music career in Hollywood back in the 90s, when the real heavy metal scene was happening back then. And anyhow, so I made a mistake by getting myself involved with certain people. Now, if you stick around my channel, I will disclose who I was, what I did, and more. But I don't want to get into it right now because it would be a 10-hour long video. So I fell off the edge of the world and I became someone else. And I believe I was also about 3 different identities. So I fell into this world, and I lived for almost 20 years, a little over 20 years, as a chronic meth addict and a little bit of crack. I tried to do everything I could to get out of that. I even started an adult film company, which did not last very long. It was called SLM Productions. But again, if you stick around, I will let you know what those initials mean and what the adult film production was about and how the drug addiction began. So anyhow, in 2013, my father died, and I knew that I was going to get some inheritance. Well, I received partial inheritance, and the rest of it has been stolen by my wonderful Pentecostal, brother. Anyhow, that's a whole other story. So I knew that I was at the door of death, or that I was going to get arrested with some severe jail time. And I don't mean jail, I mean like some serious felonies, because of the amount of substance abuse I was doing and what I was carrying. So I said, okay, when I received the first small batch of inheritance, I left to Yucatan, Quintana Roo. That's where Merida is, that's where Cancun is, and all that. And I said, if you're gonna get sober, you gotta get out of here. So I left and I rented a house. Well, first I went to Merida. I stayed there for a couple weeks, and then I flew to Cancun. And then from there, I rented a car and I went to this area called Progreso, Chelem, and I rented a house in Chelem. And I considered it like the jungle, even though I was only like a half a block from the ocean. It was that close to the ocean. Not on the Caribbean side, but more towards the northwest side. It was still very hot though. And so, sorry I didn't comb my hair. And so, so I wanted to go there and I wanted to change because nobody knew me. I didn't know where to get drugs. I wanted to get sober. I wanted to get clean. And I have a lot of photographs. Again, I did not look anything like I do now. But if you hang around, I will be showing photographs about that person. And video. I have hundreds of photographs. Maybe not hundreds, but it was a lot. It's a lot. So then what happened is that is that I had lost track with all of my family that I grew up with during those 20 years as that other person. Again, I'll let you know in the future what that other person was, and who it was, and what they became. So anyhow, so I had lost contact with many of them. I had a wonderful childhood upbringing. Everybody loved me, you know, but I fucked up. I fell into a world of, I can't say it right now, I can't. But I fell into a world of addiction and other things. So one day when I was in this house in Chilem, they didn't tell me about the thunderstorms that happened every once in a while. So then what happened is that that night, I didn't know anything about Facebook back then. My life was all about, during those 20 years, it was all about making money. And I had shitloads of money back then. Okay. I was a functioning addict. Okay. And I had money, and I controlled my drug very well. And I had a tremendous amount of tolerance. But I was also an emaciated skin and bones person also. Anyhow, so somehow I found out about Facebook, and lo and behold, I run into all of my family, aunts, cousins, their kids, and everybody was grown and had kids, and I was like, wow, man. So then all of a sudden, again, I'm trying to make this short, but there's a lot that happened, and I will disclose it in time. So then all of a sudden, you know, I was like, all I wanted when I wanted to switch from that person that I was living as, I wanted to become the guy who I left when I was 24 years old, that long-haired headbanger guitarist that left Hollywood metal scene. And when all my family still spoke to me and loved me, that's what I wanted to return to, all of that. I wanted to return to that childhood, or to that guy that was 24 years old, man. And I found him on Facebook. But boy, what a shock it was. I had missed everybody's growing up, all the cousins I grew up with. I missed all of their birthdays, all of their kids' weddings, all of their weddings, all of the births. My aunts, my uncle, everybody. It was a shock. So then all of a sudden I run into this Facebook, and everybody was talking to me. I was like, wow, man, this is wild. So then all of a sudden, this girl popped up. It's always a girl, right? Always a girl. And she pops up out of nowhere. I'm like, who's this? I'm like, wow, she's pretty. Well, I didn't think that, but I was like, who is this? You're who? What? You remember what? She was asking me like all these things about, don't you remember when our families used to go camping or this event and that event? I'm like, no. I'm like, please tell me, remind me. And she did. But I was still not remembering what it was like. I didn't remember. I was trying to remember. I was like, wow, really? When was this? Oh, wow, seriously? Wow. Oh, who? No, I don't remember. Yeah, and she kept just going on and on and on and on and on. But there was something very, very, very special about this girl. that that she did not question anything about me, of why I was living as that person for 20 some years. She didn't question, why did you change? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Nothing. She treated me like a man. And she loved me exactly the way I was. So anyhow, so we confided in each other, and she began to tell me about her marriage, you know, the husband she was with, and, you know, how the guy was a real disappointment in bed. You know, couldn't fuck her at all properly, left her hanging all the time. The guy would jerk off to porno magazines, and you know, I'm like, really? I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? You know, and couldn't get it up, or couldn't keep it up, and wouldn't hold her hand. They would go to restaurants, wouldn't even. It was like just dry, cold, and I was shocked, man. Like, wow. And I was like, man. I said, if I was your husband, man, I'd be banging you left and right, and you'd be walking bold-legged, man. So next thing you know, things got, you know, through the remainder of that month that I was renting there, I kept talking to her at night and day. We would make appointments of when to meet, and suddenly things started to get very lovey-dovey. She would come on Zoom. No, not Zoom. It was man, what is that website? Not Zoom. So anyhow, and she would suddenly start coming on with her hair down. Beautiful, beautiful, you know, wavy, soft, wavy hair, and her eyes were like just penetrating, man. They were very unique, her eyes. And I just started, I don't know whether, I guess, being seduced? I don't know. Because then she started telling me things like, I always wanted to be with you. How come you didn't dance with me during my parents' 25th anniversary? I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What do you mean? She goes, yeah, you were dancing with my sister instead. In an angry voice, she said that. I go, huh? And I'm like, well, where were you? I was sitting there. You never paid attention to me, never. I'm like, whoa. It's like, what is this? You know? And I'm like, wow, man. So next thing you know, things started developing more and more and more. And all of a sudden, I had to go back to Los Angeles because I had to attend an adult film industry event. And I needed to present myself for marketing and networking also, and to hand out my business card. So I said, why don't I meet you when I land in San Diego, and I already have a rental car ready to go. I said, why don't you come with me? Sure. So something happened when I landed. I got arrested. So I explained to her later, and again, if you hold on, if you stay in the channel, I will disclose a lot of that story of what happened. And so I got arrested over some failure to appear years ago. I don't have no felonies. I'm not a convicted predator, sexual predator, none of that. I don't have any of that. It was always a slap in the hand every time I got arrested for substance abuse and things like that. Always a slap in the hand, like a little ticket, you know, infraction. So I was very, 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 very fortunate all those years. I mean, very fortunate. So then all of a sudden, I explained to her what happened, and she was very understanding, and I'm like, wow, man. So finally, I missed the event, and I said, why don't I just get a hotel and stay here for a while? I mean, I get a hotel and so forth. So next thing you know, she had to stay in her house with her husband and all that, and she was sneaking out. So anyways, the bottom line is that I took her with me for a while to my apartment, and during my inheritance, I had a house that I had gotten in Colorado, because I remember my father would tell me, if you want a woman, a wife, you need to give her something. And that is, my dad said, get him a house to live in. So I did. I had made some kind of a deal with a relative and helped me to get a house. And I took her with me. I stole her from the husband. And everything started going real bad. Real bad, because I started to realize that this is not what I wanted. What I wanted was to reunite with my family. But also my family was 100% against her. And I'll go into who that person was in another video. She was a close, distant relative, okay? But there's more to it than that. Everybody all of a sudden got Jesus. All of a sudden everybody became religious, and I was committing a sin. I was committing a, what do they call it? Incest. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You were fucking this other cousin and that other cousin, this or this and this and that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't say that, but I was shocked. And everybody just turned from me. So then all of a sudden I said, you know what? I got to take you back. I got to take you back to your mom. This is not what I wanted. I wanted my family. I said, my family is worth so much to me. So I drove her back. And then I started to get very depressed. And then I slipped back into meth. I was so depressed. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody in my family wanted to talk to me. Nobody. I'm like, wow, man. I said, I brought her back. I tried to apologize to her mom, and I'm not kidding you, but 3 times she slammed the door in my face. Like this close to my face. And anyhow, so I tried really hard to mend my crime with everybody in my family, and nobody wanted to talk to me. Everybody abandoned me. Everybody talked bad of me. Oh, this guy is now this. Oh. I haven't even told you my name, huh? It's not Damien. Damien was my stage name. So then all of a sudden, like I said, so that's how when I left the house in Colorado, I sold it. But I had slipped into, I relapsed. I was so depressed. And then all of a sudden, I started to live in this big old Dodge Ram mega cab with a camper in the back. And I bought that from the down payment that the new buyers gave me. So they were making payments, but by then my mind was already so far gone into the meth again that I wasn't thinking right. Anyhow, slowly I recovered again. This was like 7 years ago, I think. about 7 years ago. And so ever since then, I began to live in this pickup truck with a camper, and I started to learn about the whole off-grid thing. And so I did have a few places that I rented, in Mexico. I rented so many places: Ensenada, Rosarito, La Bufadora, down in Tijuana, and so then I lost the truck, that big Dodge Ram. I was supposed to go to Hawaii, and so the problem with the Hawaii thing is that they wanted me to, it was a big expense. I was going to move to the Big Island. They told me I had to remove the camper shell and then put it in some kind of a weird dolly. I'm like, how am I going to carry that freaking thing in a dolly? So they said, you got to sell it. And then they said it's got to be under 7.5 feet tall or 8 feet tall. And it was a big 4-wheel drive. So I'm like, how am I going to take it? It's over the size, and I don't have a lot of money to, to pay for the extra height. It was really expensive. And so that went kaput. And anyways, I'll talk more about it later, but that's how I became living in this van. I mean, as a vehicle dweller for the most part since 2013, 14, 15, 16, since 2016, maybe 17. Yeah, maybe 2016. And it's been such a traumatic experience for me, because I came from being a pornographer and something else that I don't want to disclose right now, which is how I made my money, a lot of it, monthly. I had no concerns of money. It flowed. I made money, man, back then, like that. Money was never an issue for me. And I lived well, all while under the influence too. I had all the sex you can imagine. Every week there was, I don't know how many, people I was having sex with. It was a lot. Every week for almost 20 years, man. So much meth, so much, man. And for some reason I'm still here, because I also walked around Skid Row in Los Angeles and nothing ever happened to me. I'm still here. I survived it. But anyhow, ever since I lost my family, I have been alone, struggling. And depressed, struggling to be happy, struggling to survive, struggling to return. This last few weeks, that trying to recover that guy I left at 24 years old is now becoming like slowly fading away, because I'm now realizing that it's never going to return. I wanted to return also to that music pursuance, but the music scene is dead now. It's dead here in America, the metal scene. I tried to look for bands, I tried to look for musicians, and everybody's too busy at home with their pedals and plugins. It's not the same anymore. It's not. I tried to go back to Los Angeles several times. All the music stores are gone except for Guitar Center, Carvin, Mesa Boogie. All of these other Marshall modifying shops are gone. Everything's gone. There's no metal scene. There's nothing over there. It's junk. And so ever since then, I've been suffering and trying to, I'm losing my train of thought. So, so that's how I became, on and off as a van dweller, mobile dweller. And now with what little money I have, I'm trying to either buy a trailer. I thought about going to Mexico, to Yucatan, but I'd have to sell the van. I'm lucky I still have the apartment, but I don't sleep there. And right now, my body and my mind is so worn out. I'm like, I'm burned out, people. I'm burned out is what it is. And so this is why I decided to do these videos in this channel. I said, why not start doing this channel and just focus on your life as a van dweller. If I went to Mexico, to Yucatan, I would still be doing this channel, because the wandering troubadour is me. I'm just wandering. And again, I've been very fortunate, but this is why I asked earlier on one of the videos that it would be so nice to communicate with people, ask questions. I thought about doing a live episode also. I know there's only 30 members, I think, subscribers. I'm not sure. And but I just thought about doing it. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'm in my van right now. I didn't go, to the apartment, and I wish I could turn the camera around, but anyhow, I'm my bed's real nice. I bought a full-size memory foam bed that's in the apartment. And I think it's going to fit perfect from here to there. But then I might have to get rid of this one. This one is kind of sinking. I've had this for a long time. And, I have like all this food in here. It's wonderful. It's all frozen. I was going to do a video of this refrigerator, and also do a video called, what's in my van refrigerator. Let's look. And I was going to open it and show you like everything that's inside there. It's turned off right now. But there's a lot of food. Oh, the light still comes on. But there's a lot of food in there. And I keep it turned off about 6 o'clock because the sun starts going down. And I need my power at night. So, yeah, I was going to do a video about that, but I decided to do this one. Anyhow, well, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting, and again, if you have questions, help me out. It would help me, it would help my mental health to be active, knowing that there's somebody out there that has an interest in communicating, and that's something that I think we've lost ever since COVID began, and with all of these politics going on, with all of this. I don't want to get into all that. I really don't. But I know that we've lost connection because of the cell phones also. Everybody's in their fucking phone, scrolling. I'm like, man, I wish I could have a game of chess with someone, Just play chess. Have a beer or two and talk. Fuck the phone, man. Get rid of it while you're playing chess, and just have a human one-on-one connection. Discuss things, not about politics either. I'm so fucking tired of politics, man. I don't know, just whatever. your life, for example. Tell me about your life. Tell me about your life, you know? Okay, well, thank you for watching and have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.